Yo, 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 it's your boy C.H.O, man. Checking in with another Thumping Thursday. Gonna chop it up with y'all about some boxing tonight. Just, we're gonna talk about some fights coming up, times, dates, where they're gonna be fighting that. Let us know, what you think about the fights, what's going on, and what it's gonna be looking like. Gonna talk about some NFL playoffs tonight. Who got going on? Who y'all think might win? You know me, I'm gonna keep it short when it comes to that. Stay on, me, I'm a Bucks fan, so I'm going for the repeat. Anybody got them, what I'm saying, putting them, put a little friendly little wage on, you know what I mean? We're gonna tap in. Um, so without further ado, gonna get to the boxing a little bit. It's been a lot of speculation. Who gonna fight who and who gonna take what fight in different divisions and who Canelo gonna fight and all these different speculations and hearsay and things of that nature. Nothing really solid unless it's in contract. So fights that we got coming up, you should be watching. We got February 5th in Las Vegas. We got Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith. So we got Jesse Vargas fighting Liam Smith in Vegas. That's February 5th. Also February 5th, we have returning former welterweight champion Keith Thurman is going to be fighting Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, if no, recently he was the one that fought Gervonta Davis. And Gervonta moved up, I think, 2 weight classes to fight Mario and take his belt. Obviously, Mario's probably the weakest champion in that in his division. So, but it still was a pretty good fight for Mario. He put up a pretty good fight. Keith Thurman is coming back to fight Mario Barrios February 5th. That's going to be in Las Vegas. So that's going to be a fight everybody going to be watching, trying to peep up on, trying to see what's going on, and see if Thurman still got it, if Thurman still got what it takes to be top tender. Most people counting him out. Most people say he don't got it no more. He ain't fought in 2 years. They said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather when he came back and fought Marwell Marquez, who ended up knocking out Pacquiao, one of the fights he fought. And they said, Floyd been out for 2 years. He ain't fought in 2 years, and he gonna be looking rusty and all that stuff like that. Floyd came out, looked it, and made Marquez look terrible. Totally destroyed him. So we got Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on February 5th. That's in Las Vegas. We got February 12th. We got Daniel Jacobs returning back to the ring. Daniel Jacobs fighting John Ryder. That fight gonna be in the UK. They're gonna be fighting Daniel Jacobs and John Ryder. They're gonna be fighting in the UK. This could be a retirement fight for Daniel Jacobs. If Daniel Jacobs don't perform well in this fight, this could be a retirement fight for Daniel Jacobs. He hasn't been performing up to his standards. Basically, it's been said since the Canelo fight. So, Canelo has elevated since that fight, and Daniel Jacobs pretty much kind of declined as far as his status in the middleweight division. February 19th, we got this should be called a retirement fight. I think both fighters need to go ahead and retire after this one. We got Amir Khan and Kell Brook fighting. That's going to be in the UK also. They both are UK fighters, so it makes sense. Definitely not going to get a lot of press in America with that fight. Amir Khan and Kell Brook, which they probably should have been fought years ago. I don't even know why they just not fighting. But February 19th in the UK, they're going to be fighting at a catch weight, at 149 catch weight. So a little bit above welterweight, a little bit below, obviously. So you got February 26th coming up in Scotland. We got Josh Taylor defending his crown against Jack Satterall. I think that's how you say his name, Satterall. So that's going to be February 26th in Scotland. Now, they've been talking about possible fights with Josh Taylor and Bud Crawford, potential fight. Josh saying that he possibly could move up and give up his belts and move up to face and be Terrence Crawford's #1 contender for the belt. We're going to see if that's going to actually happen. If it does, I'm sure that's going to be a fight people like to see, just because Josh Taylor is the great white hype and from Scotland, Europe, and he's undisputed in his division. And to see two undefeated fighters fight each other for the belt, I'm pretty sure people even in the States will watch that. So we got February 26th, we got Josh Taylor defending his title against Jack Catterall. And then also that same day in Houston on February 26th, we got Jermell Charlo fighting again for the second time. This is Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano 2. The first one ended up in a draw, if I remember correctly. First one ended up in the draw, and many people thought Charlo lost that fight, or whatever the case may be. I know a lot of people be wanting and looking for the Charlos to get the beat or lose or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of stigma behind them brothers, but they're gonna get it. He gonna get a crack at it again and see, if he did indeed, or he is victorious over Castano. So that's gonna be a good fight again. I think the first fight was real good, toe to toe, and I think the second fight gonna be electric as well. So on the 22nd of January, I missed that. On the 22nd of January, returning back to the ring. We don't know the last time we seen Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Mr. Gary Russell Jr. gonna be fighting Mark Maxayo. So Gary Russell Jr. is coming back to the ring. I think he only fights like one time a year. So, he only fight like one time a year. So he's gonna hopefully he can fight twice a year this year. He been calling out Tank Davis and all the fighters in the division and different things of that nature. So we'll see how that goes. I think that'll be an interesting fight. Tank Davis and Gary Russell Jr. fight. I think that'll be an interesting fight. Gary Russell's skills and hand speed is real good. Gary Russell, of course, have fought the likes of Lomachenko. Even though in a losing effort, he still is a dangerous fighter, period, point blank. So we got We got Keith Thurman coming back against Mario Barrios. Garrett Russell returning back to the ring. Jamal Charlo versus Brian Castano. 2 coming. Josh Taylor defending his title against Jack Catterall. Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith. Amir Khan versus Kell Brook coming up. Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder. And then we got Jamie Mungoa versus Demetrius Ballard. I don't know too much about Demetrius Ballard. I have to do some research on him and check out some fights and some stats on him and different things of that nature. But I know Jamie Mungoa is the next big thing in his division, and he's the number one, I think, WBC and WBA number one rank. So I got to do some research on that fight to see why they made that fight happen and get up to date, honestly, on Demetrius Ballard. So excuse me if I haven't did my thorough research. There's a lot of fighters out there. Sometimes I don't get a chance to, check in with them and see what's going on until they fight somebody that makes me pay attention to their fights or whatever the case may be. Just be honest, tied up with a lot of stuff. But, boxing, I love boxing. That's my thing. That's why I'm here with y'all every Thursday to talk boxing, talk sports, get engaged, see what's going on, see what's popping. So, we got all these, we got some pretty good action. I would say the Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, I think is going to be better than what people think. Jamal Charlo and Brian Castano, I think that's going to be a fireworks again. I don't know, about the European fighters fight. Hopefully Daniel Jacobs picks up and does what he needs to do to revive his career, give him an opportunity to fight for another world title, at least before he ended it all up. I'm going to be excited to see Garrett Russell back in the ring, see how he do. Hopefully, since he's fighting early in the year, he's able to fight again. And hopefully that's a big fight. Hopefully that's a big fight. I would love to see him and Tank get in there and tap it in. They've been talking so much between each other, so much trash talking, and so many things that's been going on between them guys over the years. Just wanted to see them go in there with their styles and see who the best man. Everybody's talking about the Bud Spence, Earl Crawford. I mean the Bud. I'm talking about Bud Spence. Oh man, that's how much you talk about them. You down there mashing their names together. Earl Spence, Bud Crawford matchup. Everybody keep saying that and saying this, and I hear people saying, "Oh, they need to fight." The pay-per-view or whatever the case may be, and the numbers. And I think Bud just sued Bob Arum for racial bias. Now, me, I'm big on the whole nationality and culture thing or whatever the case may be. But I don't know about that, whole racial bias thing, or whatnot. I'm kind of on the side with Aaron on this one. I don't know. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't think that Bud draws enough attention to himself, like the modern day fighters of the time. I mean, when Muhammad Ali was boxing, he revolutionized boxing because of the trash talking and the things that he would say poetically or just talking shit, making rhymes or whatever the case may be, and it just made his appeal more appealing. People either wanted to see him win or get his head beat in. And the only person today I've seen successfully pull that off in the modern time is Floyd Mayweather. To the point. And if Muhammad Ali was getting paid the type of money Floyd is today, it would probably been more. But I think I think Bud is like reserved. He's a real street dude. You could tell. And he doesn't trash talk. He don't like you when you trash talk. And he doesn't like trash talking. He's very respectable. He's calm. He's cool. He's gonna give you a respect outside the ring. He's not gonna really make a lot of noise, and that don't make people interested in seeing, especially people that don't know about boxing. They're not gonna see him talking all calm and cool and be like, "Oh yeah, well I want to see him fight because he look like he gonna whoop some ass." You're not gonna really see that. You're not gonna get that from Bud. Bud is a professional, and you really don't see that too much in boxing. Everybody talking trash, even if you getting your ass whooped. Even if somebody just knocked your ass out, you're gonna be talking trash like you ain't never been whooped before. And that's just selling fights, really. And I don't believe in talking trash just to talk trash. I don't believe in being a shit talker, but I do believe in promotion and marketing. And I do think that Bud, could do, some type of marketing tactics or something where he let the people engage with him or open up and, do more interviews and different things of that nature. Now, do I think that, Bob Arum could have did a better job of promoting? But yeah, but really Bud is his own man. Bud is his own team. So the fact that, they got this lawsuit going on, like I said, I kind of side with Arum on this one because I don't think Bud is marketable enough to where the modern time, Adrian Broner is more marketable, and you know what I'm saying, than Crawford. And the fact that Adrian Broner was getting his ass whooped like every fight, you know what I'm saying, like for 5 straight fights or whatever he had done went on the road, he just kept fighting for the titles and championships or whatever the case may be. And it was his mouth. It was his mouth that was getting on them title fights, whatever the case may be. And it wasn't anything else, but people wanted to see him get in the ring and either do what he say he gonna do or get his ass knocked out. Simple as that, point blank, period. And so if Adrian Broner has a bigger fan base or a bigger appeal to the fans of boxing than someone that's undefeated, someone that's never been beat, someone that's never been knocked down or, hurt to the point where you could say, oh man, Crawford was almost out of there. For Adrian Broner to have a bigger rep or a bigger rapport, you got, I think, what is Connor Bean or somebody calling Adrian Broner out as if Adrian Broner done fought somebody he's doing anything that's relevant in the game right now, anybody's thing, but he's still getting called out by fighters. Picture that. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's not even fighting on a regular basis still getting called out by fighters because he can sell tickets. He can sell arenas. He can sell, people want to see him win or lose. Broner gonna be talking shit. He gonna come in there with some crazy clothes and all the antics and all the things of that nature. He gonna come with it. He gonna be talking crazy trash. He gonna be betting money. He gonna be doing all, and people there for it. They want to see it. They want to get to it. They want to get involved in it. They want to be involved in it. Commenting on the page, saying what Broner gonna do or what he ain't gonna do, and people get hyped about other people's lives. And I don't think that Bud puts the attention on the business so far. He's so focused on training. He's so focused on being the best. He's so focused on not being unfocused or not being undisciplined to the point where he loses his attention to his craft or his skill set. And I get it, but he needs somebody in his corner. He needs somebody on his team that really rock with him, that really want to see him get them big money fights, get the fight, open them up. I don't know, follow them around with a camera. You know what I'm saying? Follow them around with a video camera or something. Just put some clips on YouTube or anything like that, that people don't see, show a side of him. Show him talking shit behind the scenes about fighters and what he gonna do to fighters and different things like that, and put it out there. All kind of things, and put it on Twitter, all kind of things, tweet some crazy shit, all kind of stuff to get people to say, hey, This man for to go in there and bust something up. This man for to go in there and bang something up. That's what they gonna pay the tickets for. That's what they gonna pay the sale for. They want to see some blood. They want to see some threats. They want to hear, somebody saying he gonna break some limbs, do something to him. Mike Tyson was one of the big things. I eat your children. I'll bite your ears off. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you gonna want to see that. You sitting home, you ain't got nothing to go with. You got married with children. You know what I'm saying? You listen, fight coming on. Tyson say he finna eat somebody's children. What you think you finna do? I'm finna turn on. I'm finna turn on and see if this man finna eat somebody's children. I'm finna turn on and see what's popping, what's going on what's going on. You know what I mean? And if he eats somebody's children, hell, I was there to watch it. You know what I mean? I'm finna pay this ticket to watch this man tear up somebody's house or do whatever he finna do, because that's what you paying for. That's the entertainment you paying for. But if for people that don't know boxing and they look at Bud Crawford, they're not gonna think that this man is a stone killer. They're not gonna think that this man is gonna go in there and put that bop being boot on you, hit you with the bang bone boot. They ain't gonna think that. They ain't gonna think none of that. They gonna sit there and look at him and be like, yeah, he look like a great businessman. He look like he can run companies, and he don't look like what he's been through. He don't look like what he's been through. So when you get that, you're not getting, Adrian Broner that's talking to you. Oh, I'll knock you out. I'll slap your mom in the face. All kind of things of that nature. And I'm not saying that he should get out of character and be loose lipped and just be saying, Adrian Broner type things or things like nature, but things that he know he can back up. Things that he know he got the skill set to prove and back up. You should be exemplifying, you know what I'm saying? Just going over the top with this, with your adjectives and your explanation of who you are as a fighter. You feel like you finna knock this dude out in 6 rounds, I'm gonna knock your ass out in 6 rounds. That's all it's gonna be. And you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna have to dig your ass up from the grave when I get through with you. All kind of shit, different things of that nature. I think just those things, because, people are perceptive people. And if they perceive that it's gonna be war, people gonna tune in for it. Just like the days of the gladiators. People gonna tune in if they think it's gonna be bloodshed, they think it's gonna be war, they think it's gonna be some action. And I think this lawsuit, just will expose, I think what needs to happen moving forward. I think whether he win or lose this lawsuit, I think moving forward, he's gonna have the opportunity to realize what he needs to do. I think a lot of times we need to do a lot of self-examining. I'm co-Bud. Now, so anybody know me, I know I'm pro, I'm pro Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I'm a, you know what I'm saying? That's my guy, when it comes to the skill set of the game, when it comes to his ability to find range, him to be able to switch over if he needs to, or whatever the case may be, him being able to adapt to the styles that he's faced and different things of that nature. Always willing to fight the best, even if the best ain't willing to fight him. I'm pro Crawford, but I don't ride no coattail. I don't jump on no bandwagons. I'm not an ass kisser. That's not me. That's never gonna be me. That's not how I run. I'm a leader. I stand on mine, and I have reason. You know what I'm saying? When I say something, I got a reason for it. If you don't like it, that's just how it is. But my shit pure, and it comes from a genuine point of view. I don't got no sucker shit on me. I don't got no hate on me. It's all love. Anybody know me? I rock with Bud Crawford, heavy. But I don't think that this lawsuit is gonna have any merit. Just my point alone. I mean, Adrian Broner is more popular than Bud Crawford, and anybody can show me different. I'd definitely be up to see it. But they was calling at one point. They was calling Adrian Broner the next Floyd Mayweather. They was calling Adrian Broner the next Floyd Mayweather. I remember that. And I used to laugh at it and be like, nah, this dude can't be, you could show the role or do whatever, but he doesn't have the feet, he doesn't have the movement, he doesn't have the smoothness in his technique. And you could tell he doesn't have the work ethic, whatever the case may be. Floyd don't get tired. Adrian get tired 5th, 6th round. He ain't throwing no punches. He just trying to avoid punches. shoulder roll off of him, hit you with a 1-2, you know, and make it look pretty decent. Never really sitting down on his shots, you know, to the point where he's going to the body. You know, he's moving at angles. You know, he's getting out of range. He's getting back in range. You know, you don't see that from Adrian Broner. You know, you don't see that. You just see, you know, him dependent on his ability to stand in there, hit you with a pot shot, and, you know, just make it look cute, you know what I'm saying, but not effective. And, you know, after a while, especially if you ain't got no power pop behind those pot shots, you know, somebody gonna walk you down and come up on you, you know what I mean, and hit you, you know, and that's what it's gonna be, you know, for the most part. You seen that happen with Sweet Hand Caleb Plant, you know, and which I'm an advocate. You know, I rock with Caleb Plant, you know, despite, you know, his loss and his failure against Canelo. I like Caleb Plant. I like his style. I think he's a smart fighter. I think he a thinking man. But, you know, when you shooting them pop shots and you shooting them, you shoot, that modern day, you know, boxing. The modern day boxing is not the same as old school boxing. You know, modern day boxing, they just stick their arm out and put that in your face, and pot shot will keep you away. Old school boxing, they put hip into their punches. They put the lower part of their body, the hips, rotating their hips, rotating, you know, their body movement for uppercuts, for power, because your lower body generates, that's where the power generated is through the lower body. So everybody that's, you know, putting the pot shots, you know, it looks good and it probably can keep a person off you for the most part. But them blows that, you know what I'm saying, them sit down punches, you know what I'm saying, where you turning into them punches and you turning that hip into that uppercut or to that body shot, you know what I'm saying, or to that jab, you turn it into a punch. You know, Lennox Lewis had one of the fiercest jabs, you know, in boxing. And, you know, basically he just hit you with the jab all night and just keep you back, you know, until he come in with that 1-2. And by the time he done hit you with that jab all night, he come in with that 1-2, you about to go to sleep. You know what I mean? So it's you know, fundamental and skill set, you know, is you know, I guess, you know, outdated, I guess, in the modern boxing, with all this, you know, pot shotting and looking pretty and cute or whatever the case may be. But being able to put your power behind your punches and still not be able to take a lot of punishment and damage, you know, that's the skill of boxing. That's the real skill set of boxing. You know, they don't really teach that or do that anymore. You know, it's more, you know, the everybody's into the mitts and, you know, to look good and how fast I gotta go with the mitts and all that there. And, you know, you ain't doing that shit in no ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna be mitting nobody in no ring. Your ass ain't gonna be shooting them shots that fast, because you're gonna be looking like Lopez was when he fought Cambosa. You know, you're gonna be out there shooting them shots, coming out there all fast and aggressive, shit like that. And then all it takes is your aggression to be coming forward, and you don't see that shot coming, boom, and then you on the ground in the first round trying to figure out how you got there. And you the one that's was favored to knock this man out in 2 rounds, but you on the ground in the first round. So at the end of the day, you know, when we talk about, you know, right or wrong or different things of that nature of boxing, now boxing screwed up because of promotion. I think of promoters, you know, had a different approach to how they, you know, see their fighters. Everybody see their fighters as cash cows, and especially if they undefeated and nobody can take this old and different things like that. But it's so many fighters. I think it's so many fighters that's gonna be up and coming and new and different things of that nature. And for a promoter, I mean, it be seeming like the promoters, you know what I'm saying, don't, you know, it's like the promoters don't want to. I thought the promoters was in the business to make money. You know, the promoters act like they be fighting. The promoters be acting like they the fighters, and they the ones that's taking the L. They the ones taking the loss. So I know your promotional company, you know, might be seen as you know, your fighter loss, or, but I mean, if you're, you know, I don't understand. You know, I think promoters should, focus more on putting the fights together, than worrying about if their fighter gonna be undefeated after the fight. The greatest fighters of our time was never undefeated. And you got Rocky Marciano, you got Floyd, you got even Joe Kozaki. Finished. Joe Kozaki beat Roy. You got you got people that finish, other fighters that finish undefeated. But they are not even considered the greatest fighters of all time. The guys that finished, Rocky's finished 50-0, Floyd 50-0, whatever. And Gonzaga, he undefeated. And nobody considers Joe Gonzaga, as the greatest fighter, or even probably one of the greatest. I mean, probably I would say one of the greatest. Obviously in this weight class, no doubt about it. But when you hear boxing fans bring up names and bring up, fighters and bring up things like that, you don't never hear them talk about no, you don't hear them talk about no Joe Kozaki is one of the greatest fighters that ever lived. No, they say he kicked ass. Yeah, they say he did his thing when he was in there. They say nobody couldn't beat him. They don't say that. They say Muhammad Ali, who's got his ass whooped before, who's kissed the man and all, who we regard as the greatest, even though real boxing heads will probably say, real old school boxing heads will probably say Joe Louis is the greatest to ever fight. Joe Louis even lost. All right, Joe Louis was, what I mean? That's the real sugar. You know what I mean? He even lost. So at the greatest fighters that we consider the greatest fighters or boxers, are the ones who actually lost defeat. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like I said, the reason why UFC is basically dominating the airwaves and the sport because they have one promoter. Everybody know who that is, Dana White, and he's able to control the sport where he's not gonna be with that cherry picking. Everybody's gonna fight everybody. I mean, his cash cow for a while was McGregor. He making hella money off of McGregor. McGregor went in there and fought I can't think of his name. Fought the guy and got his ass baptized. You know what I'm saying? Got bop, beam, boom. And after the fight, he even the guy that whooped McGregor even went in the stands to fight his people and all that stuff like that. Big thing went out, whatever case may be. That shit didn't hurt the UFC. That shit ain't bring down the UFC because McGregor lost. You know what I'm saying? It ain't bring down shit. Hell, it ain't even bring down McGregor. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't even he got up, got his ass whooped, and goddamn couple months later, he's still back talking shit. He's still talking shit like he ain't never lost. He ain't never got his ass whooped, and people still will fucking go order or go pay for a McGregor fight because it's not the fact that he can't get beat. I mean, he got it. Floyd beat him. He went to go box. This is UFC biggest, what I'm saying, biggest thing. He went to go box and go outside the UFC, and he can either make the UFC look good or make the UFC look bad by a loss, right? Okay, right, because league against league, right? So you trying to see who got the best skill set, who got the best bragging rights, and he went over there and went over there to Florida and got bop, beam, boom. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, and it's cool. He ran out of gas. He ran out of breath. He got that type of stamina. Those type of rounds, boxing rounds, different than UFC, and it caught up with him. But he went over there, and if it was boxing wouldn't have never went over there in UFC and did nothing like that. Obviously, the sport is more rougher, and you can get more injuries, more shit hurt. But boxing would have never took the opportunity. UFC went over to the boxing world. see, they see this as an opportunity. They going over to the boxing world, taking UFC fight, and guess what they gonna do? They gonna get people over there that wasn't interested in UFC, that didn't know about UFC. They gonna go over there to the boxing world. You know what I'm saying? They gonna go over there. They gonna go over to the boxing world and snatch over the UFC the boxing fans over to the UFC fans, and bring more UFC fans from the boxing fans that didn't know about, that UFC has some type of boxing skills. McGregor showed a decent amount of boxing skills, and he does when he fights. He likes to punch more than anything. He likes to hit you with combinations more than anything. And he showed his boxing skills, and that got a lot of boxing fans interested in UFC because they're like, this guy can kind of box, whatever the case may be. So, it's showing that they're not afraid to take losses because why? Because the greatest fighters of all time has all take losses. They all took losses. And I think, it's got to get to the point where you got to stop being cowards. If you coming in the box and fight the best, just as long as you ain't getting your ass whooped every fight like Adrian Broner. But obviously that's not an issue for him because he still got people calling him out for fights because why? His personality, him opening his mouth, what he does. And, he reckless on a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying Bud Crawford need to be reckless. That's not his personality. I would never tell another man to emulate or try to persuade himself to be like somebody else. That's bullshit. What I'm saying is you have to look at what works and what doesn't. And what can get you more bag is people knowing about you, knowing that you're not just no cool guy. Because, you talk on the interviews, you think this man for the, this man for the just, bake some cookies after he got down finished fighting you. Whatever case may be, he just so calm and cool. You don't disrespect. You don't talk trash. You don't do none of that. And you like, is they having a fight or they having a debate? They finna get ready to fucking fight or having a damn debate after you talking to Bud. And so you definitely, that's not gonna get, it's the object is not to get boxing fans who already boxing fans. You already got them. The objective is to get boxing fans that wasn't boxing fans and get them locked in to boxing and get them locked in to what the sport is about and how the sport can entertain them and give them what they want out of their time being spent paying for pay-per-view or paying or watching a free fight or whatever the case may be. Boxing is giving you the entertainment that you might have not thought you needed. And so when you look at, as a person, when it comes to marketing and branding, if a fighter that's lost multiple times is more popular to the person, is more popular than the fighter many consider the best pound for pound fighter in the sport, something missing. Something fucking missing, man. Something is just not. It's just not. The numbers ain't adding up, man. It just ain't adding up to why a person like Adrian Broner can be more popular than Bud Crawford, and the fact that he can, he can sell out a bigger crowd, bigger people want to see him fight, get his ass whooped, or whatever it may be, will pay for it. Just like they used to pay for Floyd, and Floyd had a sweet marketing strategy. He just get the Mexicans mad. Floyd just get the Mexicans mad. He just go up there on Cinco de Mayo and just whoop some Mexican ass and come out there with a sombrero and all Mexican colors and shit. And he just, that be it. He just got the whole Mexican. Everybody wanted, ever since Oscar De La Hoya, he's had the sauce from that whole incident. Ever since he fought Oscar De La Hoya and won by split decision, it changed his format of how you gonna market. Now he's seen the hate. He's seen so much hate from the Mexican community. Cause low key, man, a lot of that shit be, I don't know, racist, biased, whatever you want to call it. But Boy, they it is what it is. But at the end of the day, he used that hate to make him very, very wealthy. He used the ability to, that you hated him so bad that you wanted to see him lose. It's like that for Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner took that page out of Floyd book, and I think Floyd peeped him and gave him some game like that to give him that extra edge to know that he can go out there and go get that money like that just by talking that shit, just by getting people riled up and getting people to hate you. Because the people that's gonna spend to see you lose is gonna be more than the people that's gonna spend to see you win. Let me say that again. The people that want to see you lose, the haters, they're gonna be more than the people that support you. So if you're doing something like fighting or you doing something like that, it's better chance that people are not gonna like you, especially if you're a black fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the fighters now, for the most part, they Spanish people, the Spanish is taking over. Whether you Mexican, Puerto Rico, they taking over. You know what I'm saying? It's the sport. They got a lot of fans, all over the world, and they got, a lot of support. They're taking over. So if you tapping into that Spanish market and you understand how to tap into the anger of those fans, what to tick them off, talking about red beans and rice and, some enchiladas or something like that, how they don't got no flavor or something like that. You just kick some game to get the Mexicans mad, and you got yourself a fight, man. Pay-per-view, they gonna pay to see you get your ass whooped, or hopefully you get your ass whooped, but they gonna pay for it. So at the end of the day, marketing is key when it comes to these fights. You can't just be, it's like having business. You can't have the best product in the world and nobody know it exists. You can't have the best, you know what I'm saying, food out there, best drink out there, and nobody don't know you pumping. Nobody don't know you got that crack. Nobody don't know you got that dopamine. You ain't promoting, you ain't putting it in nobody's mouth, you ain't letting nobody know what's going on. Ain't nobody gonna be looking for you. So you gotta put yourself out there so you can have the people looking for you. So when it's time to sell them tickets, you know what I mean? They running at the door to goddamn sell them tickets. You know what I mean? It's just simple as that. You got to put yourself out there. You got to let yourself be known. Got to let yourself be seen out here, and that's just how the world is. Social media out here for a reason, and I don't think that boxers per se need to, focus on their own social media per se. You need to get somebody that's around you that's gonna record you acting a fool or talking shit and saying something and put the camera on all the time. You don't need to do that. And especially when you get to that certain level. It's a brand that you got to build, and Floyd did it better than anybody. And in this modern time, I think if people follow his blueprint, especially a fighter that's winning fights, that's undefeated. Yeah, you follow that blueprint, man. It's gonna lead you to the bag. Money leads trail. Money leaves trails. So if you see where the money at, you're gonna see the trail of how a person obtained that money. What did they do? How did they do it? You know what I'm saying? Hell, Bud need to go on the WWE and goddamn wrestle some damn body. You know what I'm saying? Take some WWE fans and goddamn go on some more talk shows and interviews and stuff like that and get people to know who he is, goddamn, or whatever the case may be. But however it might be, I think he'll have better luck doing that than suing Bob Arum, for being biased on his on getting him big fights. I think he's just as part as himself getting big fights as Bob is. Do I think Bob is liable for some of that? Yeah, hell yeah, I do. But do I think he's liable for all of it? No, I don't. And like I said, Bud's my guy. I fuck with Bud heavy. I rock with the whole campaign. I will always rock with the whole campaign, but I'm an investor. I'm a business owner. And all I do is invest. All I do is evaluate businesses, situations, real estate, all kind of things of that nature. See if it's a good go. So if the numbers ain't seeming right, something ain't seeming right, something ain't seeming like it's adding up, then probably it's because it ain't adding up. And so therefore, it's easy to put the blame on a person, but I think the more mature and more professional thing is to look at what you have lacked at doing and what you can do better for yourself and your career. And I think he can still get the fight that he wants. He just needs to change how he's been going about getting them done. I think a lot more social media attention and things of that nature. So we got the fights coming up. We got like I said, we got February 5th. We got Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios in Las Vegas. We got Jesse Vargas and Liam Smith and Josh Taylor. Jack Carterall, February 26th. February 26th also got Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano, Garrett Russell getting back in the ring with Max Sayo. In New Jersey, they're gonna be fighting on January 22nd. Daniel Jacobs getting back in the ring versus John Ryder, February 12th, UK. Amir Khan and Kell Brook should be the retirement fight. I think February 19th in the UK, they fighting at a catch weight. And make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share, comment. If y'all agree, disagree, like anything that I'm saying, hate anything that I'm saying, disagree with anything I'm saying, please let me know. Let it be known in the comment box. Definitely get back to you. Boxing is what I love. Boxing is what I get into, and I train my children how to stick the jab, how to move around on the pads, and how to get their feet work together. You never know. And I don't actually train them to go professional. If they decide to want to do that, then we can take it to that level. But I make sure that they know what to do and how to do it. So that's my thing. Protection at all time, protecting yourself. So it ain't just a talk. We ain't just doing this because we fanboys. We actually in the gym with it. So that's my piece for the night. With the boxing. Who y'all got going on with the NFL? Like I said before, I'm Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm a Central Florida baby. Born in Atlanta, raised in Florida. So you know what it is with me. So I love my Atlanta stuff too. So I don't, ain't no hating going on. But I'm a Florida boy. I was raised in Florida, so I'm definitely rock out with my Bucks. Shouts out to the Atlanta Braves that won the World Series, though. That is my baseball team. So, but I got anybody that want to tap in, you know what I'm saying, and let me know what your favorite NFL team is, or who you looking at for the playoffs. Georgia Bulldogs champion, yes sir. Shouts out to Georgia Bulldogs for taking it on in and bringing home. This year been the year of Georgia. I think Georgia been with the Braves, got Georgia Bulldog upsetting Alabama. They've been taking it in. It's been good. It's been a good year for Georgia sports in the state of Georgia when it comes to professional sports. Shout out and continue good. It's been long overdue, and so yeah, that's good. Shout out to University of Georgia for bringing that home. We tired of seeing Alabama win every goddamn thing anyway. So we was good to have somebody else from the South take it home. So that was a good look. Um, no shade, Nick Saban though. We rock with you, man. You're a legend, man. But we want to see somebody else win for change, man. But yeah, man, the playoffs coming in, man. They got some great games. Uh, you know, Green Bay got the bye in the NFC, so they're gonna be sitting back watching, see who they're gonna be playing. Tampa Bay snuck in and got the number 2 seed, which was kind of lucky for us because we weren't supposed to get that for how we slipped up and let some games go in the later part of the season. But we injuries, trying to make up, trying to get healthy. Playoffs coming. We're gonna have most of them dogs back for the playoffs. Get them edge rushers in and tear it up like that. So y'all already know my pick for the playoffs. We got Sunday coming up. And I got my Bucks beating Philadelphia. Anybody from Philly got an issue? I know it's a lot of great boxers that come out of Philly. So you got anybody from Philly got an issue? Well, what I just said, go ahead, let me. Hit me up, let me know something. Let me know something. You know what I mean? And we can get that going real quick, like real friendly like. Anything else other than that, I can't talk about the Atlanta Falcons, because they ain't in the playoffs. So, they, division foes. Can't talk about them. But shout out to my partner Q. He a Falcon fan and everything like that. And so, that's my time right now for the boxing, the NFL, and everything. Holla at us tomorrow night for We Good Friday, We Good Weekly. Tap into the show. Look at my boy Q and MD Uno with the live interviews for the week. And we'll catch y'all back Moolah Monday talking about those crypto, stocks, investment, insurance, real estate, business acquisition. We're going to be talking about all of that come Monday, Moolah Monday, with yours truly, Mr. C.H.O, Mr. Strategy Over Stress. I am he. And Monday is Moolah Monday. We'll be talking about that money. So if you want to know where to put your money at to invest in the cryptos, in businesses, or in real estate, we're gonna be talking about that heavy Mondays every Monday, 8:00, no later than 9:00 we start. So just be on the lookout for that. We're gonna live stream that, drop some jewels, give you some information. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's me, your boy C.H.O, Mr. Strategy Over Stress. This is We Good, Thumping Thursdays, and we out, man. Y'all holla at us. Have a safe weekend. Y'all bless.